welcome to Go for Lethal. My name is Bonney.
I'm Dean Khasanov.
I'm Zack Chamberlain.
I'm Chris Okamura.
And welcome to this short episode because it took us forever to fucking set up these microphones. If you don't know, our long-standing beef with microphones continues in this episode, as it took me 30 minutes to work with goddamn DJI transmitter.
DJI, if you want to sponsor us anyway, go ahead and give us a call.
Yeah, give us a call. Give us a call. We'll tell you all of the pros and cons of the things that you have. How y'all doing today? How's everything going?
I'm doing great.
Solid.
Yeah.
Good.
The Shanks starter deck is really an Uta starter deck. How you guys doing now? You doing okay?
Oh, dude,
doing
it's
great.
so bad. I mean,
doing great.
They really got us because they made the 9 cost look so good, right? They were like,
yeah.
this perfectly answers all the purple Luffy decks. And now the rest of the cards are so bad.
Yeah, you're gonna. I was thinking about picking up the Shanks deck, and then you go, no, I'm just gonna buy these 9 costs.
Yeah.
A la carte. There's no reason for me to buy.
That's a single to buy. That's it.
Yeah.
Would you like a bunch of non-hollow Yasops with your order? And the other thing is I just feel like, I mean, we'll get into it with the other ones too, but like it seems like across the board, there's some decks that were lowered that received. Not even that. I was gonna say some of the lower tier decks received some support, but then Blackbeard also received support. That legitimately received support.
We're so just for everyone knows, we're recording this now just to cover the cards that we missed the last week's episode.
Yeah, because it kind of trickled.
They trickled it out. So now
best cards. So honestly, they baited us.
Yeah. So
I'm not even gonna cope with that. All right. First off, we're recording because we wanted to do a podcast, and I was disorganized and came late. All right. So that's what we're doing.
No. So now that we have all the cards out, I'm feet in the sand. This deck, this is mid. This is all mid.
Oh, it's so
yeah,
mid. I mean,
pretty bad.
It's just the Blackbeard and black purple.
Well, okay. Let's go start it back because I feel like categorizing it as all mid is not, because look, we
went through them again. So we'll go through again. We determined Blackbeard, good.
Right.
Black purple Luffy, good.
Yes.
Great.
Buggy, pretty mid.
The thing is, I think it's pretty mid, but I keep
every buggy player that I've talked to, and as somebody who played buggy I played buggy for 5. I mean, but that's like giving rainwater to somebody who hasn't seen. Yeah, that's like giving somebody who's walking through the desert a bottle of piss. They're like, oh my god, what?
It's that meme with the dude walking through the desert, and it's like play a normal deck a mile away.
It's the meme.
Play new buggy support 60 miles away, and he just starts chugging away.
Quite literally, the Shanks one was that Anakin like Padme meme where it's oh great, this is gonna be a Shanks deck and not a film Uta deck, right? And it's just Anakin. It's right. And you just see all of the
It's basically what this felt like was what this whole drop felt like was it's the meme of the guy at the end of the tunnel or the end of the pipe taking all the water, and then there's the guy underneath with the little drips. That's the meme. And there's the Blackbeard players at the end just sucking all this shit in, and then it's just everyone else.
It's the AP US history meme.
Yeah, just
dropped on us.
Just getting dropped in.
Okay,
right?
but I do want to push back a little bit because before these starter decks came out, I feel like through this whole podcast it's just been an arc of us being like, the starter decks are going to change everything, and then we're like, okay, next time they're going to change everything, and then we're like, I think there are some there. Well, here's the thing. I do think that some of the things that we were talking about mitigating some of the issues that blue purple had, I don't think it completely destroys them, but it does mitigate certain issues that I think that we saw. So let's go one by one, right?
Yeah, I guess we should start with Shanks.
Let's start with Shanks, which we missed last time. Okay, so Shanks, he got the 9 cost, right?
Yeah.
He got that. Okay, let's just go to the Uta 2K.
Yeah. So Shanks was the first super, and then the other super we got was
the Uta 2K.
6 cost, 4K power Uta, 2K counter, and then if you have a character with 10,000 power or more, give this card in your hand -4 cost, so it would become a 2 cost 4K blocker. Who is this for, dude?
Why the fuck do you need that?
So essentially, what it's for.
For Uta, it's because you discard film.
Well, no, it's the combo with the 9 drop. So
what?
So
you can drop the 9 drop as a 6 cost, and this is a 2 cost.
You drop 2 of these, and so now
bad.
you're going. Now again,
I mean, if we go by by Soba Mask logic,
You ever see a
fucking
card
incredible.
that you're just like, this does not deserve this rarity? I felt that way about the Bonney, the new secret
so
in
like,
OP12.
it's like, again, I see the vision, right? Because basically what it is again, it's the thing I was talking about last week, where once you start getting into 10 drop battles with like either Shanks mirror or the Blackbeard mirror, this now lets you play 3 bodies that are decent along with block. Like if you're playing Shanks matchup or a Shanks mirror, right? They drop 12 cost first or triple cost rush first, right? Now you're kind of fucked, but then you drop the Shanks, whatever, for 6, and then you drop 2 blockers.
But so, I can't believe that, because the problem is that like, just as there's you know those cards where you're like, okay, there was a card we were talking about, I think last week or the week before, where it's like, why the fuck was this printed? I forget which one it was, but this is one of those cards where it's like, I don't understand how this effect like is in any way beneficial, or why you would play it versus the myriad of other 2Ks you have. Shanks has legitimately good 2Ks already, right? Like, you don't need, is it Red Hair Pirates?
No, it's just
then what the fuck is the point?
And you know what the
what
worst
are you
part
kidding
is?
me?
It's an Uta card, so the Red Hair Pirate searcher can't search.
So why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just, like, everybody runs Chopper as the third 2K, or the fucking Sanji, which you do.
That's like, really bad.
Again, let me be clear. Me trying to justify why it exists, it's terrible. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying I'm giving you reasons why it exists.
I can see why you said that play, because I now think with the Blackbeard one, you do a version of that, but it's 6 cost Kuzan into like Vasco shot.
Like, there's a reason
so that you
that
can
has infinitely more utility. Though.
Yeah, I was like, that's really good though.
But I think also what you're talking. Look, like, I think me and Chris. It was Dean's birthday, by the way. Happy birthday, Dean.
Thank you. Appreciate
it. I was gonna make a joke, but I can't, because this Uta's just pissing me off so much.
I'm
not even kidding. I'm annoyed. But we were testing out Purple Black versus Blackbeard, which has historically been just a dog shit matchup.
Yeah, terrible.
It's been a really bad matchup,
right.
and it's because Black Purple does not have anything mid range it can deal with. And I found some strategies, but one thing that we noticed about Blackbeard, right, or that I had mentioned to you, is that the match, just even without anything new teched in, is a lot easier because of Blackbeard teching in other cards to make it more consistent against this other matchup. So it kind of lowers evens out the matchup in that way. If that's the case, right, and we're not and we don't need to worry about, like, it's not necessarily a race of bodies, I feel like, anymore, right? Then this is fucking useless. Like, the Shanks I get, but like, I don't, like, I guess this is for, the only way I can think about it is like 100% it is a red purple Uta, like a red purple Uta support.
I'm just not familiar enough to talk with the deck. I mean, maybe talking to Lex, because she actually plays this deck with me good, but like, I'm just like, I don't understand why you like red purple would even want this card. It just seems like
it's just a bad card.
All of the cards.
What's red purple's effect is like discard
a film card, ramp 1.
Yeah,
right?
ramp 1.
That's it.
Yeah. But again, you wouldn't. There's other.
Why would you discard a 2K?
That's what I'm saying. There's no reason for you to have this card.
But then even mention this other fucking Ben Beckman right here.
Oh, dude. The thing is, the Uta is not the worst card in that starter deck.
Yeah. The crazy
Ben
part,
Beckman
like, there's
is actually unplayable.
They're so bad, I've forgotten all of them genuinely.
Oh, dude, you're about to hear it right now. We can all just
throw so we can all go to Emerald Knights and
just speed run through the
4 cost 5K, 1K counter on play. You may trash 1 card from your hand. If your leader has a Red-Haired Pirates type, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 4,000 base power or less. What?
Yeah, so it's like a mini 7 one. Yeah.
Honestly, the worst part about this is the 4,000 base power. So it's not like you can reduce.
The base power is, that's the thing. Look, if it was anything else, like, honestly, it would be kind of problematic already. But look, like, you have that control Marco that's come out. You have a bunch of other things like that. Honestly, in control Marco, that may have been great. If it was not, but like, who the fuck?
This card seems like it should have been a 2K counter.
Also, slight change too. It would have been significantly better if you just said trash instead of KO.
Yeah.
It would have been.
Does it have you trash a card from hand?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It seems like a 2K counter.
Go down a card to kill something in 4K. Like, unless we're getting some
so
crazy fucking 4K blockers.
Again, if it's trash a card to trash a card.
This card goes crazy in the mirror
to counter your opponent's Uta. Like, it's like
No, it's to counter Silver's Rayleigh in OP 12.
Oh yeah, there's any card they play. Just I can see already. They're gonna be playing 4 Ben Beckman. Just pop anything your opponent plays.
I mean, I don't know. I'm in a little bit. I'm a little bit in disagreement with Dean and everybody, because I saw Kai posted like a little playthrough of the Silver's Rayleigh deck. It's not terrible. Like, it's okay. We were expecting like dog shit levels of like,
I still think it's
what are we doing?
It's so bad.
What are we doing? I don't think it's horrible. Like, some of the events are very cool. Like, some of the way he built it was very cool.
I think the problem that you run in with Rayleigh is like kind of the same problem you run in with GP, where it's so reliant on the singular card.
Yeah.
But then it doesn't have the consistency of GP, so you're just kind of sitting there waiting for the card to show.
Well, he ran it with like a bunch of searchers, so it's just basically like, I think you're only looking for like Monkey D. Luffy's at that point. And like, to be fair, there's some very good Monkey D. Luffy's under 5. Monkey D. Luffy in 5 cost is like a marriage that won't go away.
Well, I thought you can't play 5s and over.
Yeah, so you're looking.
Well, you can't play 5s?
No, you're looking for the Luffy, the 4. You're looking for the 4-drop one.
Oh my!
Never.
I thought you could play 5 drops. Oh,
I thought that changes everything.
I'm not entirely sure.
I just know 5 and under is what you can play.
I think you can't play over 5. You want to look it up? You can't play over 5.
I just know the one card that you look for in that deck is the 4-drop Luffy. That's the one card that like makes the deck go.
Yeah, the new one, the new super, right?
That's like the card that makes that deck go.
But I mean, it's like another version of Zoo at that point, right?
Yeah.
Where it's and like the Boa Hancock, like seeing it in motion.
You can't play 5.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so bad.
That's so bad, dude. Oh my god. You know what? We talked about this in our first episode. I was like, okay, all the OP12 leaders kind of just feel like, because it's the start of a new block, they're trying to make
they're restarting
versions
Are you
of the old
taking
ones.
off your glasses to read? What the fuck? What is going on?
Dude, my eyesight's actually an anomaly, dude.
I always said,
what the fuck?
I said
that's like Sasuke deactivating the Sharingan to be like, oh, I'm gonna fight you. What happened to your eyes? They're normal now. What the fuck?
No,
I had to take off organ donor because they're not going for my organs, they're going for my eyes to see how fucked up these got, dude.
Listen, you have 20/20 vision, but if you read, you're fucked.
Dude, I was saying to Dean, I was like, dude, I want Dean to play a local without his glasses.
Oh, dude, free wins.
And like, I just want to see how bad it goes, because dude, there's a point we tested this where like, how many fingers am I holding up?
But then how the hell are you reading without them? That's what I don't get. It's like, how does that work?
I can't lie. I took them off. I looked up the card on Reddit and I was just like, wait, you can't put cards with the cost of 5? I didn't read the rest of it.
Okay, let me read this because maybe your eye is fucking with you.
It's so bad, dude. I'm blind, but
cannot put cards with the cost
Are you
of 5
nearsighted?
So I'm everything sighted, dude. I can't.
But also, Buggy or fucking Birdcage. It's Jover.
Yeah, it's Jover.
Dude, I think it's Jover just playing the leader.
It's Jover just playing leader. As soon as, that's the kind of leader where as soon as your opponent sits down and drops it on the table, you laugh and go,
nice, dude. Yeah, just go, nice, brother.
Yeah. I said, like, somebody playing red, purple, sugar. You're just like, hey, man, that's great.
Red, purple, sugar is better than this leader, dude.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Caesar Clown has been in this.
Yeah, that's what I said last year. I was like, dude, I'm playing Caesar Clown way before I play.
Caesar Clown is some. Okay, but let's go through
Okay, yeah, the last card was this is a Yasop. And this is a good card in a bubble because it just power creeps the old ST Nami that we had. But this is a 1 cost, 1k counter, 1k power, activate main once per turn, give up to 1 Rested Dawn card to your leader, one of your characters. Just pure power.
It's the same thing. It's just another not. I mean, if
well,
you
it has counter this time. That was the big drawback.
No, it had counter in the other one.
No, the last one didn't have counter.
What?
That was the big drawback because people wanted to play it.
I ran it in ST21. It does have counter.
That's counter? Am I tweaking?
1k.
Dude, that would be nuts because I remember that used to be
look up the other starter decks. We're not trying to rush to it, but like look up the.
Yeah, we just don't know cards. Honestly, me.
I could have swore that was the thought that it was like a brick.
Is it not just searchable now? Is that also a difference?
It is searchable, but it's like, what would you want that extra Rested on? It does have counter.
So it's just searchable.
I remember having a discussion with someone that there was a drawback to it. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But anyway. The drawback is you spend money on the starter deck. That's the drawback. That's the drawback to it.
Okay, so again,
So just Nami for red hair pirates.
So yeah, it's whatever. Again, the problem, it doesn't solve any of the Shanks issues or whatever. It doesn't do anything for it. So then now what are you gonna do? The Bonney next?
Yeah, let's go to the Bonney.
Bonney, the first spoiler we had was the X Drake, which I think this is actually a pretty good card for Bonney. It needed a new 2K counter, and I think hold on, stop. We may have to fucking postpone this episode.
Why?
Because you're not gonna make it to Emerald Knights. I just checked the timing.
That's
it's gonna
totally
be 30 minutes. Are you sure?
Totally fine.
All right. Okay. Cool.
I would rather do this than just get sweated at locals because I don't see enough Sanji and puddings. That's what it feels like right now. Like I was just watching one of my favorite like pros for One Piece, and he was like, dude, if you don't see as many Sanji and puddings as your opponent, it's fine. You can outplay him. And I'm just sitting there like, what? What do I do when I see one and my opponent sees three?
Hot take. I agree with him.
That's great.
No, here's why. It depends on what you run. If you run, well, I would say don't fucking sigh at me. Don't you dare sigh at me. Don't you sigh at me.
The man that always sees 4 every match.
First off, just because you have working glasses and Dean doesn't mean you get to have our opinion. First off, for like if it depends on what you're running. If you're running Frankie, like I feel like I know that people don't usually run Frankies, but every time I've run that Frankie, like that's the secret save for keeping your momentum going on that, right? Because like you want to keep leader ability, you still get the leader ability, and like they don't usually they're always focused on the Sanji pudding, and like so a lot of matches where, especially red matches when I'm dealing with Mulgun, right? Like almost all, by the way, also anybody who plays red and plays Mulgun, I swear to God, that is the newest fucking easiest tell since 4-drop Lucky Roo. For Shanks, right?
The only card that keeps him in the game.
Yeah, it's the most obvious thing where it's like, I'm gonna play a Sanji, I'm not gonna swing and then go. I'm like, whoa, what's it gonna be? Every time they'll always go with the Sanji pudding, right? And I mass up like Frankie's, I mass up other things, right? Okay, and you keep building boards so that you know these are basically just the target they hit while everything else comes out. And yeah, it just keeps tempo. I think you can do. I beat somebody with a fucking. They KO'd 2 of my Sanji puddings. I had
I think that's true.
Frankie's out.
I think the problem that you run into, and again, it's something that and you know this just from fighting games, like, and kind of any competitive game. The problem is the deck is so pilot dependent. Where I feel like, again, talking about matchups, and we talk about matchups, it's always pilot even. Right, talk about whether it's fighting games with characters or in character matches, whatever, and you know any kind of matchups. You're talking about pilots being even. Pilots being even in the GP matchup. There's no shot you're winning. You're winning. Like again. The only way you're not winning that. The only way you're winning that matchup with less Sanji puddings is if your opponent is a worse pilot than you.
Or you just see
that's mirrors in general, though. That's mirrors in general. Like I don't know,
because again, in
I mean, you can get high rolled. Yeah, I get that, right? I get that, but I'm not saying like it's not. I don't know. Is the argument skill matters?
No, I think the argument is the deck is so Sanji pudding dependent.
Yeah.
And being that there's so many, we're in a tier 0 format right now, by the way, guys. Like,
yeah, I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, if you've seen the first 2 regional results, or like a treasure coming regional, and it's just like more than 50% of top cut is GP.
Yeah.
That's the definition of tier 0. So it's like you have to go into these regionals or these larger events and just expect that, you know, half of the games you play are just going to be mirror matches. And I feel like those games are so much decided, and the stats back this up too. The mirror match is just decided by who goes second and who sees more Sanjis and puddings. Yeah. Obviously, you can come back in any game, right? Like,
I don't think it's hopeless if you don't see more Sanjis.
When you discuss generalities, you're discussing generalities with the idea that both pilots are even.
Okay, yeah, but if both pilots are in a perfect, it's harder definitely if you don't see the same amount of Sanji puddings.
I would argue.
You can beat a gun with a knife, but you're gonna fucking take a lot of shots. Okay, I'm not dumb about that. Yeah.
Do you want to die on this hill?
I'm just saying, like, it's hard to. It is close to if you both know what you're doing, it's close to unwinnable to win that matchup with less Sanji puddings. Especially if it's if you see 1 and your opponent sees 2, okay, maybe. If they see 3, bro, it's kind of cooked.
Oh yeah, well yeah. If they see 3, it's kind of.
Cooked. And then the thing,
But even the 3 Sanji puddings, it's very weird. It's very weird playing that deck with 3 Sanji puddings because if you're seeing 3, you're ramping like fucking quick.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, like
go too high.
Yeah, if you get to 10 and you have 3 Sanji puddings, that's actually counterintuitive because you're only getting back 4. You're not getting back back what you want.
The thing too that I like, and
so get rid of one.
We're in tier 0 form, but I think it's unique in the idea that like GP is such a pilot dependent deck where like the cream still rises to the top just because the deck is so hard to play. Where like the next format, when you get blue purple's kind of brain dead, bro. Like
I just want to let us all know this is how bad the Shanks starter deck is. We started talking about it and then we're like, you know what's an interesting deck? Green purple Luffy.
I mean, to be honest, like
it's a more interesting deck.
We had the most notable cards out of all the starter decks, all 6 talked about in the first time we started talking about starter decks, right? So that means we've gone like 2-3 weeks with just awful.
Yeah, terrible.
I don't know. Let's go through Bonney. Let's go through Bonney. Okay, nothing is as bad as that Uta though. Like that's like a generational level.
In terms of SR, in terms of SR,
there's nothing worse.
But I will say
that's an SR
salad, dude. That's fucking.
So the Shanks was the first SR, and we're like, oh, this is really good, right? And then we're like, what's the second SR gonna be? Oh my god! It's so bad.
The thing is with this,
you know what? It makes Pizarro look good. That's what I'm just gonna say.
Pizarro is great.
Yeah,
so I would play Pizarro over that card.
These Bonney ones, it's better. All these are better, not in Bonney.
Yeah, the only one that I'm like, okay, this goes in Bonney is the X Drake and maybe the Hawkins.
Run us through.
So let's just go one card at a time. The X Drake is that 2K counter replacement I was talking about. If your leader has a supernova type, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with the cost of 5 or less, and then set up to one of your Dawn as active at the end of the turn.
That's okay.
That's a 5 cost, 5k power supernova. And
no, I think the 5 cost on it is what makes it so fucking.
It's just a worse Cavendish, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
but it's a 2K counter.
Why is it a worse Cavendish?
Because Cavendish is on.
That camera's off.
Wait, are we looking at the turtle or are we looking at the camera?
Camera's off. Keep going. Just keep going. Well, we can figure it out. Keep going.
We can salvage this.
We'll cut from here.
Fuck it. Bring the turtle into the frame. Let's do it. Turtle.
Hello, and welcome back to Fuck Technology with I'm Bonney. This is
I'm Dean Khasanov.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm Zach Chamberlain.
Yeah,
I'm fucking full restart.
I'm over it.
No, we're not
restarting.
Welcome to this is my 13th reason.
Jesus.
Okay.
The first 12 were GP mirrors where he didn't see enough Sanji pudding.
All right, we're back.
But they were still winnable, bro. They were still winnable.
Guys, you just didn't talk enough shit. You gotta talk more shit than your opponent.
Dude, you know if you don't play Sanji pudding and you leader ability, you can play 2 Frankies at the same turn. It's crazy. You get all that Dawn back.
All that free Dawn, dude.
Hey, that's like you drop a Vala Pizarro. and you drop another Avala Pizarro. No.
And then you
stage one
stage,
and then you play another stage,
and then rest that one too, and swing double 5. What does your opponent do, dude?
Welcome to the legendary run of my 14th reason.
Not gonna lie, I did do that against someone on Sim. I played a Lucci that was popping all the Sanji puddings. I played 2 stages and made it 9, and I was
that's so proud.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite. That is one thing that we're talking too much about GP because we all play it. All right, let's go to.
I don't.
Yeah, yeah.
You should have seen his face when we were sitting there all talking about GP.
Yeah, that's what you want. Zach, every time you walk in,
can't wait till it leaves the meta, or at least goes back down to tier 1.
First off,
yes.
First off, he can't wait till it leaves the meta. But you're playing blue purple next fucking set, aren't you?
It's meta horde, dude.
Look at him.
If it's the best deck for Vegas, it's the best deck for Vegas.
Dude, I want to play the best deck to X3 drop and go get shit faced, dude. That's what he asked me. He's like, "What are you playing for 11, Dean?" When I walk through the door, I'm like, green, yellow, baby. I want to be blue, purple, Luffy, and nothing else.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, so
all right, next one.
Well, we were at X Drake. It is not a better or not a worse Cavendish. I feel like it's a different category because it's resting a 5 or less, which can set up some plays with like Carrot, you know.
I don't know how you would think it's a Cavendish because Cavendish is every time it attacks, it resets Dawn.
I was just thinking 5 cost, it restands at Dawn at the end.
Yeah,
but it's more like a Rouge than a 2K.
Okay.
I think this is a good replacement for Carrot. If you've seen like some lists play Carrot when they're playing that 8 cost Resonante because they want more 5s to just increase
for
the chance.
Carrot?
No. Like the 2K carrot from
Oh, the
OPO2.
2K carrot.
Yeah.
Way before your time. It's basically it's like a fill-in for Bonney when they play that 8-cost Rosinante,
Right.
because they want to increase their chances of hitting 8 into 5.
That makes sense.
On curve. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think this is a good replacement for that. Even without it, I think you just replace the worst Apu with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it, like the theme for these starter deck cards for Bonney are just like all Dawn Restanders, and dude, it's like that's enough slices, dude.
How many?
There's too many.
You got Smoker. You got
Rouge,
You got
Cavendish.
You have the what is it? The Viola or whatever, or baby number 5 that you sack. That was 2K.
Dude, if you're sacking baby number 5 to get a Dawn, dude,
that's
Hey, that one's
You need
too Dawn,
help.
I think.
I'm talking to you, John. That fucks up his
The
lethals.
John that fucks up his lethals.
If you use baby 5 to restand Dawn,
We're gonna
dude,
do
just
a video
scoop
of
it
John
up.
that fucks up. Okay, let's move on to the next.
Yeah,
the
next card we have the Basil Hawkins. So I think this is just a baby Rouge. It's also a 2K counter, and this is a 4-cost, the same stat line, but 4K power. And then end of your turn, set up to one of your Dawn card is active.
Oh, no, it's
I think
just
this is
end of
great.
your turn in general.
Yeah, so this is just a Rouge.
That I think I would run more than I would run the
other 2K.
Yeah, that, like I would not. I mean, I guess for resting a blocker, if you're playing an aggressive,
2 or less. I mean, the only 2 or less blocker that's really relevant right now is in Blackbeard.
Vasco shot.
Yeah, but it's like
well,
you're
they're resting
turning
a
off
5 or
on-plays
you're resting
anyways.
a 5 or less with X-Drake.
Oh no, but I was talking about the other one, the Apu that's in Bonnie decks right now.
Oh yeah, no,
the
I would
extra
never.
booster one. Yeah, it's like those
feel
were
like
only
you're-
ran because they were the only Supernova 2K. So
yeah.
this is like a clear shoo-in. I don't think you play the Apus at all anymore.
No.
Maybe
There's no
if there's like
reason
a
to.
resurgence in 2-cost blockers, you're like, oh yeah, I'd rather pay 1 Dawn, but
Yeah,
the only
like maybe
relevant one they're turning
Maybe like
off
the
your on
Shiroshis,
plays.
but even then, like the Shiroshis.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 2-cost Shirahoshi. That's a
So if that
really
ever comes
good blocker.
Back, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, if that ever like really comes back, or like Yellow Kid in general as a deck, they run the Shirahoshi and the Yellow Apu. So like there's some utility, but I think these are 2 really good replacements for 2Ks for Bonney.
They're solid replacements. I like the Basil more than I like the Drake.
Yeah, me too. Next card is Capone Gang Beige. This is a 2-cost 1K power blocker, 1K counter as well. On play, if you have 6 or more rested cards, draw 1 card and trash 1 card from your hand.
It's okay.
It's okay. I mean,
It's a
I can see
blocker
you
cycling.
running.
Yeah, it's small.
Yeah,
It's kid filler, isn't it? Like an
It is,
extra little
yeah,
blocker
yeah.
for 8-cost kid.
yeah, and then it's like, but do you run this over Killer?
No.
That's the
What were we looking for, Bonney? Because I feel like it's either
board spam,
board spam,
board spam.
freeze. Like I mean, because all she has, it feels like they keep trying to be like, all right, well, she freezes something, which is great. I like the freeze, right? I like that oppressive, like you carrot, you keep freezing something, right?
Carrot as a searchable, like a supernova carrot would have been
That would have been
great.
amazing.
Yeah.
But I think like in general, like you know, aside from removal and freeze, like we don't like. I get it. We're resting characters constantly, but we have enough, like you said, we have enough slices.
Yeah,
You don't
there's-
need to
there's
rest
just way
anymore.
too many.
They just
yeah.
give
You will-
her more of what she already has.
You will
Yes.
always have that Dawn at the end of the turn now.
Yeah.
There is no card you play that doesn't give
But like
you that
when
Dawn.
you had Blackbeard gets more removal, which is something that he did need. That's another way to play the deck.
Yeah.
Black Purple Luffy got a completely new way to play his deck. Right. This is the Shanks got red purple Uta cards.
Yeah.
This just got like, hey, this is. It feels like they didn't know really what to
It
do with
gave
her.
it mid game, like we needed mid game, right? It needed something like, because the 6 Dawn turn you have Basil Hawkins, the 6 cost, not really good. 8 Dawn turn you have some plays, but your best play is Hody. It's not that good. It's like situationally good. It needed something in that 6 to 8 range, and it just didn't get it. We just didn't need more.
Yeah, it just feels this feels like the fucking Pimp My Ride. Yeah, I heard you like Dawn, so we put Dawn in your Dawn so you have more Dawn. That's what it feels like,
it
right?
does feel like that. Even the Searcher does
Yeah,
that,
the Searcher
dude.
does the same thing.
By the way, you called Jackbeard. I get to add 1 to my tally too. I said they need to print something to replace Bonney Searcher because it's going to rotate, right?
Let's talk about it, yeah.
Yeah, this is functionally better to me. I mean, so it's a 2 cost, 2,000, which is effectively the same because the other Bonney you're paying 2, right? So it's a 2 cost, 2,000 power, 1K counter, and then on play, look at 5. You know that part. Search a supernova type. The difference here is on your opponent's attack, you can trash this character and set up to one of your Dawn cards as active.
That's great.
It's great, but it's another Dawn restand.
I think the issue that you run into with,
But like I think that's worth it as a Dawn Restander because it's just like it's a spot
I
like
think the problem you run into is like the Bonnies worked great because they were a pseudo blocker. because you could just keep if you left them up, they're continuously
exactly. Your
searching.
opponent has to swing
So
into this.
you're forced to swing into them. This again for the 2 Dawn you're spending, and then plus it's the Bonney was activate main. So like you get around if you're playing a Blackbeard, you're fine.
Yeah.
But then this one is on play, so it's still not.
Oh yeah, that's
and
true.
Blackbeard wasn't a good matchup for Bonney beforehand, so
Yeah.
So now you lose your activate.
Yeah, now you lose your searcher.
Where, like Bonney did decently against Blackbeard.
No, I mean there was always like I've won a few of those matchups, but it's just like, does my Tashigi stick? And if it does, then I win.
Is your
If it
Tashigi
doesn't,
sticky?
And as a Blackbeard, if you try to kill the Bonney too fast, then you lose.
yeah,
If you slow the game down, you'll win.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's not.
I think it's a good card. I think Bonney, the Bonney searcher is way better in Bonney. But when I saw this card, I'm like, green yellow law, green yellow law.
Yeah.
Really good.
Really good. I mean, especially a good thing to talk about too is this is like a Hody mitigator in a lot of decks. I think the biggest thing that you can do against Bonney when going for lethal is rest their Dawn. And this just says, okay, well, I'm just going to restand it, or I'm just going to keep this open, wait for you to Hody. Especially because we're getting a new baby Hody. If you guys have seen that card in OP12,
That event
is insane.
What's the baby Hody event?
The baby Hody event is it's one of those of the series of a 1 cost event plus 3k power to your leader, but it has like a activate main effect too that you can use it. So the activate main effect I think is rest another 2 Dawn or rest another Dawn. So it's
another 2 Dawn. It's 3 Dawn total.
Dawn, and it's just Hody. It's just rest two characters.
2 characters or 2 Dawn.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Well, you can't split it.
And
can you split it?
Now I'm curious actually.
That I never looked into. I was bitter about the character part.
Well, that was the thing with Hody that makes it so effective is like, if you have 1 Dawn up, I can rest 1 and a character, right?
Yeah.
Or I can rest a character and a
Hody is such a broken character, man.
Yeah, I think the only reason like you have to actually think about Hody is it takes your own life. But
do you think? Well, sorry.
In some cases, that can be card draw.
But do you think that somewhat they felt that like we talked about like Gecko being banned,
right?
Because Bandai they felt it limited game options, right? Do you feel that Bandai at all felt limited by their game options here?
No.
Where like with Super, I mean like because it feels that with the cards we got for Supernovas, it does. Like I don't understand why we can't get board spam with Supernovas.
So I'm not a Bonney player, but when I saw this starter deck, honestly, my thought was, does this open up like an aggro version of Bonney? Because you have enough restand that you can use the 10 Dawn to kind of freeze and to make Bonney a 7k.
But all the restands at the end of your turn.
Yeah, and I think the problem that you run into with Bonney is the leader ability inherently leans it towards being defensive.
Yeah.
Which Enel does that too, but I think Enel does it in a different context because they've gotten support through Sky Island to make it aggro, right?
Right.
Bonney is just not gotten that at all.
Even with Enel,
but they're even constrained too because you have to think also like, and I mean you saw it with the Shanks deck, right? Is that like, look, I just said this, but like the black purple deck is black purple. It's like you can't play a lot of those Dawn -2 effects. You can't really play in other decks. Yeah, you're gonna get eaten alive.
They've pseudo locked it to that deck or that archetype.
Well, because because there wasn't a lot of Dawn -2 because there were there's one Dawn -2 card other than there's one Dawn -2 card they released, Uta, the one that gives you 1k to everything, right? That's great, but like that didn't do it. Like all these other effects, huh?
That card is so bad.
No, it's bad. It's bad. If you
even in black purple, it's so bad. I hate that card, and I really wish it was good. Because I bought so many when they spoiled black purple.
It's only minus 1k to everything?
No. It's Dawn -2 on play plus 1k to your leader and board.
For
the turn.
So like I don't think it's like the greatest thing, right? Yeah. But I'm saying like it's an AK body. Huh?
It is if you stack.
You just play them back to back.
Yeah, back to back. Great. I don't think it's great either.
You respond. Your opponent plays 2 Pizarros and they threaten 5k swings next turn. What do you do? Uta, 6K leader, put a Dawn on each of those bizarre.
What now? Like it needed those dominance too. But again, the Blackbeard can be played in a lot of other black decks, right? These decks also have the added like issue with having to prop up a lot of other other colors in a way.
Green for sure.
And I mean, you can say that purple has a lot right now, so they don't feel as constrained to give purple a ton more, right? But like this is supposed to pop. I see this propping up a lot of other green decks. This is great.
Yeah, green's traditionally been the worst color in One Piece.
Yes.
It has no ban cards. As a color, it's single-handedly propped up by Kid. And this tells me like Kid's about to leave the format.
It's gimmicky. Green is too gimmicky, and it's
extremely
gimmicky. Sucks that it's so gimmicky because like some of the effects are very cool. Like Bonney is a cool leader.
Yeah.
It's fun to play, but you gotta wonder like why like. All these, you're seeing all of these busted effects come in for purple, for red, for black. Oh my god, right? But is it just like the green-headed stepchild that you're just not gonna fucking give it like?
I think the problem that you,
I mean, Lim is like the closest they've gotten to be like, Lim and even green, purple Luffy, the most broken cards are in purple.
Yeah.
They're not even
I think
in green.
the problem you run into is like the ability. So you gotta stick with me because it feels a lot like what Robin, the problem Robin has too, where the effects and the leader ability and the effects of Robin, like the banish on leader is so strong and the ability to ramp is so strong that if you give her too much,
they're walking a tightrope.
It gets out of control very quickly.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying.
Like Bonney with the ability to rest anything is so strong.
Yeah, in a bubble.
Shanks
is not even close to as good as a Bonney.
That's what I'm saying. So like, if you give her just a smidge too much, that's a tightrope.
She can be really
She
oppressive.
can be really oppressive. Really
but would it have hurt to give her board spam here?
It might have. Because
I mean, depends the type of board spam.
Yeah, like if you give her like,
I think removal would have been great. Like if she had removal, like an extra piece of removal, that would have been fine.
If you give her like, again, going to board spam, if you give her like a supernova version of Chopper, right, where she can just play out like she's searching top 5 and looking at.
Oh, that's insane. That's tied
ridiculous.
to Red's identity.
Okay, that's
like if you're.
I'm not saying give her a hand cannon. I'm saying give her just like
if you give her like we're talking about like if you give her a supernova Jinbei, right? Like this gets oppressive very quickly. Like, and we're talking about giving her board spam. So like if a mid-game board spam, right?
But even like,
and like if that's the case, then you're playing out.
Then why is Rosinante okay?
I don't.
He's 8 cost, isn't the 8 cost Rosinante?
Yeah,
because he's 8 cost. It's too big.
I would have been fine with a 7 play a 4 because that's 8 play a 5.
That's fair.
Agreed.
As long as it was in the supernova. I mean, the issue with Rosinante, right, is it's not searchable, and then it's really just a static 8K body that's not playing anything powerful.
Right.
I think like the biggest or like the cards that are scariest in Bonney are not the supernova cards. Like it's just Cavendish standalone is really
that's why
you
see more of the Don Quixote pirate package with Bonney than you do anything else.
Well, I'm saying like in that mid-range category, I think 10 Dofi is great, but like the best targets for Rosinante spam are, I mean, Cavendish of course is like the standalone 5 that represents supernova, right? But really, it's Smoker and Carrot are crazy off of Rosinante.
Yeah. Well, let's go to the last one. So the last one is Kid and Beppo.
Oh well, I looked up that card, the mini Hody. So it's 4 Dawn total. It's 1 Dawn for the event, and then the main part you may rest 3 your Dawn. So you have to fulfill both of those costs to play the card. But then it does let you mix. So rest up to 2 total of your opponent's characters or Dawn cards.
For 4 Dawn, that's busted.
That's great.
That is busted.
4 Dawn, and you don't need to take a life.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
That's the fucking ooze. Like, I mean, that's,
you don't have to go all in. You can pivot between going for game.
I mean, it's a brick, but it's like ooze. Well, no, it's not a brick.
No, it's not because it's plus 3K.
It's like fucking Usopp.
Leader,
Like it's like it's stronger than Usopp, to be honest.
Yeah.
Green Zoro is gonna be terrifying.
Oh my god,
Zoro's gonna be so good.
I actually can't. That's like a leader. That and Kuzan, I'm really excited to play.
You know what? I'm really excited for Shirahoshi.
Are you really?
Go.
Are you joking?
Like, dude,
I don't know if you're
Shirahoshi finally got
Shut
a super.
I don't cook that hard, okay?
This man had me buy. Dude, okay. Real talk. I gotta tell this story on air. I'm in Japan. Zed's like, hey, pick me up.
You bought a Shirahoshi leader for him?
No, he goes, pick me up blue, purple, Luffy, leader, alt leader. And I was like, all right. And he goes, hey, how much is that KOBY over there too? And I was like, I was like, oh, it's cheap. It's like cheap. There's like
$6.
Yeah, it's like 900 yen. It's like $6. And he goes, pick me that up too. So I walk over to the
You
guy.
can't play Robin and tell the story to me.
I know. This is the best part of the story. So by the time he got back to me, I already left that card shop. So I went to another card shop. I walk in there and I see it in the case. And I go, see what's in the showcase. And he goes, sure. He walks over and he goes, which one? And I was like, go to this KOBY. And he goes, KOBY? And I was like, yeah. He goes,
First KOBY sale in months.
He goes, KOBY? And I was like, yeah. And he goes,
why?
Yeah. He goes, play. I was like, oh no, my friend wants. He goes, oh okay. But he was like, he asked twice if I was sure I wanted the KOBY.
Yeah, that leader is
This
so
is
bad.
Red Black KOBY, right?
Yeah.
Is Red Black KOBY.
Yes,
Is he
he-
terrible?
Yes,
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's not.
Okay,
Is he
you know what?
horrible?
I'm so tired of the KOBY slander, dude. This
Yeah.
leader is good in the same context that
100%.
Usopp was good, okay? They didn't expect that they were gonna nerf Lucci to the ground, nerf Black to the ground, except the Blackbeard, right? And in like a Gecko-dominated format, KOBY's insane.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. It's just right now, you know.
He's not doing.
I mean,
great.
but for KOBY, you have to take 3 cards from trash and put
It
them
has
to
a
deck.
lot of graveyard fill.
Okay, I was
Just like Koala.
because you're gonna need to do that really fast,
Yeah.
especially
But it
against
also-
Rob
also-
Lucci, because you just KO everything.
But it also has like pretty much a pseudo.
Removal.
No, it has a pseudo Moria. 2 pseudo Morias. No,
This
one
feels like
pseudo
when
Moria.
people said Rebecca was Moria. For
What,
Usopp.
like Sengoku?
No, I remember when
Rebecca.
Rebecca came out for Usopp, the blue Rebecca.
Yeah, the 7.
It's like draw a card.
Or the
play,
seven.
Oh no, but that's
play.
from hand. This is literally
But this
someone
one-
take something from graveyard.
This one effectively is worse because you only get it for 1 turn. That
No. I'm
dies.
talking about Sengoku.
Oh, like 7 cost Sengoku from ED.
Yes.
I don't like that card.
No,
Danny's watching this right now. He's saying, "Fuck you, Dean."
I
He
sold
loves
that card.
so-
I
yeah.
have the,
I'm not. I don't think. We're back onto like this is how bad the starter decks are right now. We're back on it. We're
We only have 1 more starter deck to go over. We should just get it out
and
of
it's
the way.
Let's get it out
so
of the way.
hard to talk about them.
Let's get it out of the way because it's the one that me and Zach had.
I don't like. So here's
So
the
what
thing.
decides who's the coper and who's the
So
one?
he's- so-
I'm coping for this.
All right, let's.
So me too, dude. I'm
I'm
coping for this
coping
shit.
for
You
this.
guys gotta, so remember when I first met y'all, well not Zed, but when I first met you two,
You were a Yamato.
I was a
player.
Yamato player.
Yeah.
I took it in Nats. I took I lived and died by that deck.
Mhm.
The problem is the starter deck doesn't the biggest problem that Yamato has, it's so reliant on its leader skill, like the leader ability. It's
Mhm.
so reliant on that double attack. So everything you're doing is to get that double attack swing in, and so you have to attack. There's nothing there that makes it so that you. The point I'm trying to make is like you're using all of your Dawn to make sure that attack gets through, and you're not getting anything bored. Like what it needed was like 2-cost teach. It needed like a Yasub. It needed something that could power up your leader ability or give power to your leader while putting a body on board. But it doesn't really. There's nothing really that does that. Everything else all it does is it empowers.
As I stare at the card
I mean,
that
I
does
don't know,
that.
man. Like, I think that Momo. I think
As
that
I stare at the
Momo.
card
I think that
does
Momo is what it needed.
Yeah, the moment, but I don't think it's enough.
The Momo, the difference is it's only on your turn, and I didn't realize that at first.
No, I think it
The
had to
power
only be on
increase
your
is
turn.
only on
Yeah,
your
it's only
turn.
on your turn.
That would be busted.
I
if
don't.
it
Yeah, but I think it'd be busted if it was.
Yeah.
Because on your turn is fine. Like the whole point is you're
That's
playing
what you
this
need,
leader.
yeah.
Yeah, the problem is that's not enough, and it's not. Again, you need swingable bodies that you can play on board that do something beyond just like you. Like
One cost Yamato,
This is a
swingable body.
Yeah, dude,
body.
I'm actually just looking at that. I'm
This
like,
is a swingable
every
body.
criticism you have of
It's a
these
5 8K. What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm like, dude, look
5
at this
8K.
card.
Yes.
Have you seen Kozuki
It's a
Momonosuke?
si- is it
Momonosuke
5 or
is a
No,
6
Oh, no, it's a
card.
six. It's a 6/8.
Wait,
Effectively.
is it 6/8? Or
It's a 6/7, but it's a.
Okay.
So why don't we read the card?
Yeah.
Why don't we read the card? So
If you're wondering
6/7.
why we're not telling you what the effects actually are, it's because you didn't do your homework, okay?
yeah, you gotta do the reading before you.
Yeah, exactly.
none of us did either, clearly.
Mom and dad are
I
really
read it. I
disappointed.
mean, my criticism of this whole deck is like I was really looking.
We were joking.
For,
We were just saying read the.
I wanted green cards for Yamato. I didn't want yellow cards for
Yeah, yeah,
Yamato,
fair
but
enough.
we got yellow cards. So we're gonna fucking
The thing
sit
with-
there
the
and
thing is
enjoy
with the
it.
deck-
This is the biggest cock tease this one fucking effect we have gone through.
Okay, fuck you guys, dude. It's a 6/7. You're God, you want this Momo so bad, dude. You're gonna take it. Mouth open, dude. Okay, you're 6-7.
Oh my God.
6-7. Your turn. If you have 2 or less life cards, your leader gains plus 1k power. First thing that Chris said it needs, but the deck didn't get.
But 2 or less.
2 or less.
You're already dying at that point.
You have 4 life.
Yeah, you're a
It's
4
not
life
that hard
leader.
to get there.
It's
No,
like
but like-
green purple. Like, are you dying when you take the first 2
No.
hits?
Yeah.
No, you just want cards in your hand.
Yes,
right?
but the difference is that the Yamato survivability is not when you're playing Yamato, your survivability isn't as high as it is with green
Hey,
purple.
Fortress Yamato's back, baby.
Dude,
Remember when I
Liam
played that?
is
I
going to be
smoked that for-
terrifying with
Yeah.
this starter deck, I think.
We have this one
So-
one team at our shop that just plays Fortress
Yeah, it's all it
Yamato. Okay, so if you have 2 or less life cards, your leader gains plus 1,000 power. That's a your turn effect, so it's
Yeah.
concurrent. And then the activate main once per turn. You may return 2 total of your currently given Dawn cards. This is the first time they've used this
Yes.
like language. 2 of your currently given Dawn cards to your cost area rested. This character gains rush and plus 1,000 power during this turn.
That's isn't their I don't know, not Yamato's pronouns are he, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm woke. Fuck you. Like
not
there's
woke.
a,
That's-
yeah. That's just considerate.
That's
yeah.
just the show.
Yeah, but so Yamato. So if you give them like their abilities, 2 rested Dawn. Like, do you have to have a Dawn on them to give the 2 Dawn?
No.
It's just
It's free as long
So
as
you
your
just
opponent
give-
is at 3 or less life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which against blue purple is always.
Yeah, it's always on.
Yeah. So like
again,
this
essentially-
is great. So you use leader ability and then you shuffle leader ability off and it's a rush and you get
It's a little clunky to me. All these effects that say, like, for example, the other cards also, you need to give 2 Dawn to activate it. It feels a little clunky.
Again, the clunkiness of it comes into like, okay, you play it for 6, then you give it the 2, you swing, and then you activate.
Undo the 2.
Yeah, you undo the 2.
I think the issue is, like, in the context of black or like other decks that remove
give
board,
something
right?
else to give something else
or
to.
That's what I'm saying. You have to
could give
have something alive.
or
to
like
give it.
you can even give Yamato to.
No,
No.
it can't be
It has
the
to be
leader.
off a character.
No. The
No, the
leader,
leader ability
effect
can't
has
give
to
it
give
to
it to a
2.
character.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
so
the issue. Is like, so Yamato's biggest
but what-
weakness traditionally has been board removal, right?
No, but put two Dawn on Yamato.
No.
Swing 2 with Yamato.
You
you
can't.
can't.
Oh, you're saying.
Oh, you're
You
saying-
can take it
but then-
off the
Oh.
leader. If
Just
you put
normally
2 Dawn
put
on the
2 Dawn
leader.
on-
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
then it's not
then-
a six Dawn
then it's an
curve
8
play.
that's an 8
yeah,
turn
then it's an
play.
8 Dawn play.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Then you're playing it later than.
But to be honest,
the
even
power of this card is on 6 on curve.
I think most of these 6 drops, a lot of these 6 drops, even for Black Purple Luffy, that 6 drop is not a 6 Dawn play.
Yeah, I
it's
agree.
an 8 Dawn play.
Oh no!
Whoa.
This is a 6 on play.
No. That's also a 6 Dawn play.
No, it's not.
The 6/7 Luffy.
You're ramping 1. So when you are at 6/7, when you drop him,
Yeah.
you can't use his effect because
Wait,
they're at
yes,
4.
you can. Wait, are we
They
talking?
have to be at 5, and they have to be.
I'm not talking about the rush Luffy. I'm talking about the one that came out in the starter
Yes,
deck.
they have to be at 5 Dawn for you to use that effect.
No.
Yes, they do.
You're talking about the rush one from EBO2.
No, I'm talking about the
There's
one.
no way.
Yes, the starter deck one. They have to be at 5 Dawn.
Dude, we need a confirmation of this, dude.
Yeah. What do you? Wait. Are we talking about the same Luffy?
Yes.
The starter, the 5 cost.
It's 6 cost minus 2
Yes,
Dawn.
Luffy of the Monkey D. Luffys. Yes, that Luffy.
Luffy of the Monkey D
Okay.
tribe.
Well, while he's looking that up, you play this. You want to play this on curve because again,
The ideal is 6 Dawn, play this.
Play
You
this.
have another character to give 2 Dawn swinging.
yeah.
Right? Then, assuming they don't trigger, because if they
Yes.
trigger and blow your thing up, you're just cooked. The whole play
Again,
is just
the
cooked.
problem is there anything that you're going to play, not trigger out, but guaranteed to play?
I was looking up
swingable
purple.
body
I was looking up.
before to give the 2 Dawn to.
The 1 Yamato. The 1 cost Yamato. Which, don't get me wrong, is a 1 cost 5k
Well, if
essentially.
you're going second, do you usually go second with Yamato?
I would, yeah.
Okay, so you have plenty of 4 drops, right? This is what I mean. I didn't like that they gave the cards to the yellow side, even though this is the yellow slotted starter deck.
The 4 drops again. What
It kind of sucked.
what it felt like was all they did was they're like, oh, Sky Island's really good in Yamato. Let's make all these Sky Island cards, but make them Wano
Yeah.
and searchable. But again, the problem is that all those 4 drops are better off when you're triggering them.
If your leader is multicolored and your opponent has 5 or more Dawn cards on their field, your Straw Hat Crew type leader's base power becomes 7k until the end of your opponent's next end phase.
That's crazy.
Oh.
You know what? That just changed my whole opinion of that starter deck.
Yeah, it's worse than you thought, right?
Yeah, it's way worse,
way worse
than
than
I
you
thought.
thought.
Dude, I'm so mad I pre-ordered all these.
Well, I don't think it's why is it worse?
Fire and Dice, give me my money back. I don't want these decks anymore.
Hold on. It's still an on play. It's still when attacking, right? It's still something where you've wanted to have, like, because that's the thing is like you didn't have that deck. We'll get back to that deck because I have thoughts, but no, fuck it.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Yeah, we'll do it live. That deck, right, had an issue with just mid range. Like it died in mid range, right? Like it had in the format of Doflamingo. Like I played Zack's Dofi a few times, and like the first few times I got cut, but like after I figured it out, I was like, this is not that bad of a matchup.
Yeah.
There's a tier 0 in a tier 0 format. This actually does decently against this deck, which board spams because you can deal with it. But as soon as mid range came up, it was very hard for that deck to compete because the only thing it had to kind of play on those turns was Moria, and then Moria just saps all of your fucking resources. Right? So if it's a 6, so the reason like the Rush Luffy and this Luffy are so good, right? Better than I think a 7-drop Sanji that rushes through, right? Is on 8 Dawn, you play him, you just do that to 2 of your rested Dawn, right? You get back, what is it? It's a 5 Dawn play technically. So you have 3 cards, you have a 7k leader, you have a 7k body on field. You'll probably have a Sanji 5/6.
Yeah,
right. You'll
use
probably
that extra Dawn for.
You can actually use your Dawn to swing and actually have some like rush in there.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So it makes sense with that. I think even for this, I get that it's a 6, but like you want to play it on 6. But the utility of playing, I mean, what's the other thing you're playing on 8? I don't know Yamato as well. Is there something that you're specifically trying to play on 8?
Argument on the 6 Dawn turn now though. I think you play the new that new 3 cost. That's what you play on 6 Dawn.
This is one of my favorite
that's
cards.
a good card, I think.
I mean, I'm always like a fan of Onami.
Again, I don't know Yamato like that. So maybe
the problem you run into again is the way that Yamato is currently set up right now, right? You're really only playing in the style you're playing bodies out to basically power up leader ability. So you're playing the Onamis to give banish. You're swinging there, or then you're bouncing. You're Hiyoriing to set up your triggers, and then you're playing the 5-cost Momonosuke to bounce back.
Right.
Yeah, the Wano package is pretty weak right now.
That's and then again, if you're playing the Momonosuke on curve, which is what you want to do, what are you swinging with? Are you attaching it to Onami and swinging, or are you attaching it to
which
the
is a 3K body, so it's been done, but it's not a strong play.
It's not a strong play.
Yeah.
So again, my thing is the support that it needs. It needed more swingable. Again, that card's great. I'm not going to deny it's great, but I mean, it needs more swingable bodies that are going to help me get to a point where this is like dangerous.
Yeah.
Because right now the only thing that's dangerous is the Yamato. So as soon as you put out a block, like, the thing I was telling Zach earlier, like with blue yellow Nami, all I'm doing is playing the 1-cost blockers, going to 7, and then I'll take the small swing. So you have to attach extra. If I'm blue yellow Nami, I'm at 7. You have to attach Dawn to make these bodies swingable on me, and then
your leader,
and then if it's even the Yamato swinging, I'm just blocking with whatever the cheap blocker I have, and then now the rest of your attacks, I'm down to just either counter out or just take.
Yeah.
So
it's not dangerous.
Hot take though, I think now with Demonic Aura 9-sword slash,
hate that card.
Blaze Slice,
good card. Just hate
and
it.
then when we do get this new the new green hoodie we just discussed, you have
Blaze Slice searchable.
Blaze Slice is searchable. Demonic Aura 9-sword slash is searchable.
And then this new event. But again, the problem that you're running into is these are now events. So now again, you're using your Dawn to play. You're not playing board presence. The problem I keep saying is there's no board presence that you're scared of with this deck.
The deck gives off big green red Odin energy.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you're playing one body and then you're hoping it sticks.
Yeah.
See, I would almost argue I want a glass cannon Yamato. I want it to be that only Yamato truly matters.
Which I think this is made.
And I think this pushes it. I really do think
what it's doing. But again, the problem that you're running into is like only Yamato matters. So the thing is,
only Yamato matters.
Yeah, only Yamato matters. Again, that's what I keep screaming. Is again, as much as the Momo card is good, it's not solving the problem. It doesn't solve the problem.
But then you have the same issue that I feel like with because if we're saying that my cope was black purple, sorry, but and your cope is green yellow, right? Well, not that it's a cope. She's still great deck, right?
It's solid. I'm not
It's
saying
solid.
it's bad. I'm
But
just saying
I'm
this
saying, like,
starter deck doesn't solve her major issues.
I agree.
Which I don't think any of them did outside of Blackbeard and,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Black
But
Purple
did
Luffy.
Blackbeard's really solve its main issues?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
like back to our first conversation.
I don't even think
about
those.
it,
I don't think those even
Oh,
solve
by the
main
way,
issue.
he's joined my Cope Club on the Kuzan.
Yeah, that Kuzan is so good.
Dude, please tell me about it because I still haven't tested it. I want to hear your
Let's
opinion.
let's get through the last.
Suck off my
We have one.
Yeah.
Let's get through these last couple.
Just double hand that 6-cost Kuzan.
Dean,
dude.
you're right.
I like how we were like, well, guys, we have a little bit of time. Let's spend the most time on this green.
Okay, dude, let's just get through these
Let's
last
go
three
through
cards.
because I do want to talk about
So
those.
back
but
to
yeah.
the Ashura Doji that I was talking about, kind of the Onami power creep. This doesn't have a trigger, but it's a 3-cost, 3k power, 1k counter. On play, if your leader has the land of Wano type and your opponent has 3 or more life cards, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a base cost of 5 or less. I like that.
Yeah.
I think base
I
cost
do- that's
allows you to.
great.
Yeah.
And it's 3 costs and it's 3 or more. And that's when you need this, because you need this on the 5 Dawn turn or 6 Dawn turn. When your Shanks player has dropped 5 cost Luffy, you go, oh, 3 cost Ashura Doji.
Yeah.
And then say they hit a blocker, you demonic 9 sword slash and then swing 9k Yamato. And you can keep doing stuff like that. You have so many
But again,
searchers now.
all the stuff that we're talking about, you're playing events and then you're playing under 5k.
But maybe that's the deck now, though. Like that's what I'm saying. Is like maybe the deck shifts.
That's what the deck's
And then you
always
just
been.
cry when they get to 0, when they get to 0 life, and
That's
you're just
what-
like,
that's what
what
the-
is my double attack doesn't do anything
I feel
anymore.
like I'm so out of depth my depth of this conversation. Like I don't know what the deck is. Like I
Yeah,
understand.
that's
like
what the deck's always been. The deck's always been.
The deck has always been like rest your blockers, be really aggressive with leaders, swing face, get them down to 0, and then just win with like Odie, right?
I know. Every time I play a Yamato, they just dawn up their Yamato and swing. I was like, okay, we're
Yeah,
swinging.
but
like,
that
that's
sucks.
the deck.
Effectively,
That's the deck.
Like the reason Bella Betty's able to be so good as a glass cannon deck is because it goes super wide, super fast, and Yamato's never gotten that.
No.
Unless you just throw, like your opponent throws, swings life, and then you just trigger
or you
everything.
trigger on your ass, and then like
3 Okikus, do
Yeah.
something now.
Hey, there was that Katakuri game. I triggered 4 Okikus against a Rob Lucci.
That
And he
was
just
crazy. Yeah,
sat there and was like,
and then they don't want
what?
to pop them because they'll gain a life.
Yeah, but again,
So-
that's the problem that I have with this deck. Again, is someone that loved that deck for so long was
Yeah.
like, it doesn't solve any of the
It hasn't
problems.
changed the identity
It doesn't
at all.
change the. It doesn't help the deck's identity. All
Yeah.
it does is like, oh, you get a Momo that helps a little bit, but again, you're not building enough board presence to make Yamato a threat.
Yeah.
Because Yamato right now is the threat. So all you have to do is worry about the Yamato, and then everything else is kind of like you're not worried about it.
Yeah. The second or third card now is the Izo. We saw this a little bit early, but now we actually have the full reveal. Is a 2-cost 1k blocker with
This one I
1k
actually do
counter
like.
as well. Dawn. So the gimmick with this is it has to have Dawn ×2 on it to get blocker.
Yeah.
Which, and then let me say the on play too. The on play is if or it says your Landawano type leader gains banished during this turn. So this is like they took these 2 cards and split Onami between the 2 of them.
Yeah.
Right? But
I like the idea of this one because early in the game,
you don't have a use for that
Right.
Dawn time.
and so you're just kind of like it's a blocker, you're putting it up, but again, you're not doing anything with it because it's just a 1k. So even if you dawn up with it, it's 3k,
Yeah.
3k blocker.
Later in the game, this blows.
Yeah,
Having to
it
use
doesn't do anything.
your leader effect for a blocker, right?
I think you're mostly
effectively
using it
4
to
Dawn.
cycle banish. So it's searchable, a banish to give Yamato. So on like
Yeah.
5 Dawn, you can go this and then
Yeah.
3 on Yamato, swing
Yeah.
8k banish. But then when you go into the next turn, you can Momo it to life. And then you get it back.
But then
And so it's continuous banish every single turn.
I
the
don't
better,
know.
honestly, the better play is just to Hiyori, and then I can put something.
Stack Onami.
I can stack Onami or stack something with the trigger that I want, and
Yeah.
then
I see where all these cards fit in, but they're all
they're
just
just clunky. They're clunky and they're weird.
It's
and they're
janky.
it's-
yeah, they're not full replacements for the older cards
Right.
that should be getting power prepped.
Like, dude, honestly, the card that's most exciting for this deck, as sad as it is the fucking Kinemon.
The 2k counter.
The Satori replacement. Because it's searchable and then I don't have to pitch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's the Kinemon that's a trigger.
Yeah. So it's a Kinemon that's a trigger.
That's a
it's
good segue, yeah.
it's a 2k counter. It's Satori. But I don't have to pitch to pull it
It's
out.
Satori if your opponent has 3 or less life cards.
Yes.
So yeah,
Which
you have
they
to have
should.
Landawano. Like your leader has to be Landawano, and then if your opponent has 3 or less life cards, play this card, no pitch. You just get to play a And it's also a 4-cost 5K, which I guess matters because Satori's a 5, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So you can actually just play this card as a vanilla, where Satori, I was like, dude,
This
I'm not
is
playing
garbage.
5 costs.
Yeah.
But
So
again,
that's good. It needed a 2K. I think the 2Ks were traditionally
to
pretty
me,
weak in Wano.
that's the more useful card out of any of these.
No, I like the 6, bro. You're tripping.
No,
I like the 6.
The 6 is
Yeah.
great. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about everything else in this deck. That's the only good
What does
card
the
in that
Searcher
deck.
do too? I feel like that did something good too, didn't it?
It's
Searcher?
Dawn times 2, gain 3,000 power, so it becomes a 5K swinger.
Oh, Pizarro.
Yamato Pizarro.
Pizarro.
We know I love to win games with my 1Ks.
Let's go. Yeah, so plus 3 power. Yeah, so it becomes a. Oh, I see. But it has 0 power. So plus 3 and then the Dawn times 2. So it just becomes a 5K. Yeah, this is literally
it's a
just
5K.
Pizarro.
Yeah.
And then the on play is just a normal searcher. Just look at the top 5. Except you have to take a land Wano type card with a cost of 2 or more.
Yeah.
So I don't
So it
know.
can't search
I hate
itself.
that. I
Yeah.
hate that archetype, dude. Because that's something in with law, the purple law.
So it can't search itself.
That
yeah.
law searcher, I'll be honest, like it's a great card, but it's also like a shit card. Because there's so many times you're playing that law searcher, you're like, man, I wish I could get giant. You'll see like
dude,
so
I just
many
realized
giants.
that you can't get demonic or a
What
9
more
sword
do you
slash or
want?
blaze
What do you
slice.
want? What more? Dude, you're the guy sapping all the water in that A-push meme.
Yeah.
Please let me have my giant be searchable. No shot, dude. There's a reason it's not searchable. He said next he's gonna say, dude, I wish they just made an exception for that law to be used in GP Luffy. I wish they made it a straw hat just so
but
He's a straw hat for
every other straw hat searcher
He's
can do
basically
it.
a straw
Nami
hat.
can do it. Like
He's a straw hat.
look in GP, GP has ways to search for it, right? BP has ways to search for it.
He's fucking straw
Yeah,
hats.
dude. I think like GP's the deck where giant is at its weakest because you have to Dawn manage, right?
Yeah.
But what's
No
blue
way
purple?
we're-
What's blue purple's excuse?
No, blue purple, it's too strong. That's why you
Yeah.
can't use a lot of.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I really want to search it by blue purple. What's the issue?
No, but we've clarified. Okay, let's not put words in my mouth. We've clarified.
Put something else in your mouth. I'll put the giants in your mouth.
He's gonna put the 6 cost. The 6
Pause.
cost moment in his
Pause.
mouth.
This man just said, "I'm gonna
Mouth
put a
wide
giant
open.
in your mouth." Whoa, whoa.
Dude,
I'm saying
I can't wait till we do.
We've
like,
established that blue
outtakes.
purple is.
Dude, you're so right. You're so right. Oh my god.
We've established that blue purple is already busted, right?
Also,
We went- what the fuck, guys?
Why do we keep fucking? Why is it gigantic?
Dude, that's 6 cost Momonosuke. You can tell me it's not gigantic?
You guys like
It's his adult form. Oh, are we allowed to do that if he's still mentally 12? Fuck. Do we mess it
no,
up?
I gotta
Do
talk-
we botch this whole thing?
we gotta
Just like 6 cost Momonosuke. He's an adult, but he's 12 mentally.
No, dude, we gotta talk.
We did an episode last time. We were like, you know what? We figured it out, guys. We figured it out. We got the audio right. We got everything good. We're gonna make sure this goes in. We have
We're
consistent
gonna make sure it
topic.
goes in all right.
Oh my god!
You're
What is
banned,
this?
Bro. You're banned.
Dude,
Go
I gotta talk
back
about
to
this. Hold on.
Chicago.
I gotta talk about this. When I was in Japan, dude, I walked past a store. They had like jewelry Bonney like goon figure, and I was like,
no.
bro, she's 12. She's
Oh.
That's something that is you. That's something that is like weird, especially in the anime, because they did like do like that one scene with Bonney, like fan service, and it was like, guys, we knew she was 12
Yeah,
at that
she's
point.
12, bro.
Like,
Oh, the
before
first
it's-
episode when they
before-
introduced.
And by the way, like, if you look through the like before, it's like, okay, this is weird, right? But I understand. But then like
All
she's
the anime only
100%
got
12.
baited, bro.
She's not even 12. She's 10.
oh, she's 10.
Oh,
that's right.
yeah.
She's 10.
How old is Momo?
I was like, I think Momo's like 8. I don't think he's
Dude,
12.
we're
Yeah.
cooked. We're so cooked. Dude, this just getting demonetized immediately. What'd you say? The YouTube's gonna hit our inbox. What'd you say about Momo?
This is where you cut out this. You timestamp this section and you name it. Potential sponsors don't watch. skip, please.
Bondi DJI, don't come to the last 5 minutes of the video, dude.
Yellow Momonosuke, you may KO a card with a cost of 6 or under the age of 17.
Oh, Jesus. No, it's fucking what's the Thriller Bark fucking Absalom or whatever the fuck.
Oh, dude, this is way worse.
Don't
than
bring any more
Absalom.
degenerates into this.
Yeah,
Don't.
fuck.
No,
No, dude,
dude,
we're done.
no.
Thank
No.
you guys. You wanna send this? You wanna send this out, Zed?
Because that's the
Are
message.
we ending? Or are we going back?
No, dude, that's a good end. I think
a
we
good
just,
ending.
yeah, we just call it, dude. I don't think we can salvage the
We can.
the moment of escape.
Let's. We didn't even get to what we wanted to get to. Wait, no. There was something we were talking about. We wanted to go back to like the two, like the overall.
Back from this.
There's not. Okay, go for it.
Okay. Well, one thing that I did want to talk about before, I feel so weird now that we've made it this way. Like what the
Dude, how do you think one else get fell? It's crazy.
Dude, cut it. Dude, cut it.
Okay. We had said before, like when we were talking about these decks, right? That there would be. I definitely am Ernie Johnson in this fucking like little group right now. Holy shit! Like
some San Antonio woman, dude.
Yeah, Galveston.
Yeah,
Listen. We have like when we're talking about like dealing with the tall of blue purple, right? Like that's just something you had said that like it's gonna be able to mitigate.
It's girthy as fuck.
Dude, oh my god.
Okay, no,
Dude.
shut up. Stop trying to sabotage
We
us.
just lost all our concurrent viewers, dude. I can't wait till
We're
we
not
see
even streaming.
The time to watch is gonna go
You
down,
go down the cliff.
just fucking drop off
Go
immediately.
for it.
We were talking about blue purple, right? Being able to go so tall and so like again, I do think that with the plus 2Ks on like Beppo and Law,
Right.
with the Shanks, even though without the Uta, right? With I mean like with Momo, I guess glass cannon is glass cannon, right? I think it does mitigate some of that issue. Somewhat.
Not really, because the problem that you're running into is again, maybe I'm Shanks and I go to 7. Cool. You're still swinging 4 9s at me,
Right.
and I'm okay. I can mitigate 1 and make 1 an 8, but then you're still swinging 4 9s at me.
Well, then I'll take back a little bit of that because I do think like even after playing the blue purple deck, right? Something that's pretty apparent is like the issue is not necessarily even the fact that it goes so wide and tall. The fact is the matter is it just has so many resources after 8.
Yeah.
Like it has it's like you get to the draw 2, like especially playing it at Dean's birthday party, right? Just the ability to be like, okay, well, like I'm at 8 Dawn, I've like struggled to the top, right? And now I just get to like pick any Straw Hat card, draw 2, and then I have the top of my, and I have so many cards in my deck that deal with the top card of my deck, right? Like it's a cool effect because it's like very meta and shit like that. But I feel like that is a bannable fucking card that you have to deal with.
The problem
It's not if, it's when.
Yeah, the problem with like you said with blue purple, the problem is like you set the timer on the stove, and you just kind of wait, and then all of a sudden at 8 Dawn he goes ding, and then you go, oh, it's ready, and then you just start fucking cooking people.
Yeah.
Just fucking
To be
people up.
blue purple, you have to either go under that effect, I feel like, or you have to find some weird way around
It's
it.
so funny too.
I think it's just go under, honestly. I think you just have to go under.
My cope is still Blackbeard.
It's so
my way
Oh,
around
dude.
it.
It's so funny though to see like the people in the West. Like we've known about blue purple for a long time, and we knew about the dominance in the West or in the East and like the tier 0 format and whatever. And there's so many people here that were like, it's not gonna be as good here. It's not gonna be this, whatever. And it's funny to see people now when it's coming over and being like, and playing it and trying it and testing for the first time and being like, oh no.
As soon as you like, because I didn't think that either, and then like I played on the sim against somebody in the East, like, and like I was like, this isn't that bad. Like I lost at the end, but then I lost 2 or 3 at the end. I'm like, what? I keep kind of consistent. It doesn't seem horrible. Like it doesn't seem oppressive, but I keep losing. And then when you play it, and as soon as that 8 Dawn turn hits and you see those 5 cards come up, you're like, oh fuck, this solves all of the issues I had.
Yeah.
For I'm at 2 health and I'm getting everything now.
Yeah.
Like you want to win the it's
timer's on the game.
It's not even that, like like when Dofi was dominant, the whole thing was like being able to stack your deck. That's so scary. It's just an auto stack your deck. You don't need another card to do it. It's immediate.
Yeah.
And that
it's not immediate. You have to play 2 ramp cards, and then you're there on turn 3.
No, but I'm saying like you don't have to play
like,
you don't have to play a
activate.
Perona.
Oh, okay, okay.
There's no like activation cost of like, you know.
Yeah.
Do you
It's
think
just
the leaders Fairview banned Sanji? I still don't think it's fair.
No,
No. No, it's the fact that you look through. And the follow-up question I had to all of this was, well, if blue purple does get banned, do these starter decks have more of an effect?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think again the thing is
so the problem is blue purple in this meta.
Yeah.
It's just
And then green purple.
I don't think green purple is that much of a problem with this meta.
Green purple I do not think is a problem. Green purple is consistent, but like it's beatable. And there's more people who think
with these new starter decks. Again, the problem that what green purple wants to do is it wants to overwhelm you with like 6, 7s, 8s. And that's what it wants to do to you. But again, if your leader is at 6, 7, 8, then like
black purple beats green purple, I think now. I think so.
It could, yeah.
So like this is the question I want to bring up, because the theme, the prevailing theme, or like the general game direction of the starter decks is pushing it in this like leader cost or leader power manipulation. Do we like the direction of that? I think it's interesting.
But which of those cards did we like?
I'm just saying.
Think about that. We talked about 10 cost law. We said it wasn't good in Bonney.
Yeah.
Yamato, some of us like, some of us don't.
Well, I think our focal point right now is, does this mitigate blue purple Luffy? None of these cards, in my opinion, do that. But if that leaves and or Giant leaves, I think things open up a little bit. And
I don't think Giant leaving changes blue purple Luffy.
And I think they should both leave. So I think no matter what, blue purple has to leave. Then you have the discussion of, is that enough, and do we need to hit Giant too?
I think the problem right now again is like, not again with, we understand blue purple's problem. The thing that I want to know is this a direction that you like the game trending in?
I like it because not everybody got the same 2K plus 2K effect. If everybody got you just get your leader to 7K, this game would be boring as fuck. And it would be terrible. I think the fact that black purple got that, great. I think that Shanks having some version of that, great, right? It's an avenue. It's cool.
Yeah.
I think the honestly, even though the Bonney deck, like the Bonney doesn't necessarily, I still don't believe the Bonney doesn't 100% benefit from Beppo and
there's an argument to play it, but I just think we're everything is going through the test of blue purple right now, and becoming a 7K and freezing one thing for a turn is not as good as Shanks, which pops any rested thing, or the 10 Dofi, which freezes 3 things, right?
But with Shanks, you pop one rested thing, and then you just have a 5K swing with your lead. Like, if Shanks, you pop up, like, a 7K swing is not nothing. And the fact of the matter is you have so many cards on that field now that literally just restand Dawn at the end of the turn. So you can play a 10 cost, you can play a Dofi even, if we're going to go back to Dofi and do that, right?
I think the problem, again, you run into the thing of, again, everything going through the lens of blue purple.
Yeah, the card's good. It's just not good against blue purple.
Looking through the lens of blue purple, right? Like, again, you're saying you play the Beppo, like, again, you go to 7. Now you're just swinging 7 into 6.
Yeah, so they give you a 2K, which they search plenty of, right?
Yeah.
And then the real question is not what does 7 into 6 do? It's what all their 9Ks do back into your 7.
No, I mean, like, if you're doing of course, right? Like I think well, how much removal? Well, blue purple has plenty of removal because it's such a fucking fucking
yeah, even grab
now,
blade is
then you go to removal, and you're like, what is going on? Like the fact that you have Red Rock and Grab Blade in that deck, like what the fuck?
The Big Mom's in there.
Yeah.
You got the big
you got Big Moms, and the fucking Katakuri stands the Big Mom. What is going on? I think that's like a well, look, if it doesn't mitigate,
I had one on the sim put me in the fucking blender, dude. He had 2 Katakuris out, and I was like, I can't.
Cooked.
Well, speaking of Katakuris, this is something that I did want to. That's why I've been trying to get us to is like, look, we did play like with a sample of the black purple and the Blackbeard, right? And we had said something about. I said like already, like what's interesting about the Blackbeard is that it changes the deck so it makes it more consistent against some of the worst matchups, right? With the Kuzan and everything like that. 100%. But it makes it less oppressive. It's still a winning matchup, but it makes it less oppressive to things like Black Purple Luffy. And the other thing in that Black Purple sample deck that we had, our friend Leo had, was it put in those Katakuris, right? And it put in the Big Moms. And I was trying to work with the with like the dev sim that they have. Where they let you fuck with the starter decks a little bit, and I was like, I don't know where you put this 6/7 in because that 6/7 rush Luffy's so good. Like, what do you really do? But that Katakuri really does seem like feel really good as a thing you tech in there to make it work. So I think for those two decks specifically, Black Purple and Blackbeard, like we've been saying this whole time, it's interesting to see how those will evolve and those will change because of how more consistent they'll be, what matchups they'll kind of change and make less. So those decks can become more prevalent, right? What matchups they'll check, right? I think those are interesting. I wonder with what you're saying about Yamato and what we feel about, like, even though the Shanks starter is not great, like what we feel about that Shanks, coming in. I wonder how those will change the meta in terms of, it's not going to mitigate blue purple, but how will it affect everything else that goes into it?
The problem is that we're going to hit a format where, like, normally when you have a bad matchup or something, you could ignore it, right? Like what I did with Dofi, right? Where when I played Dofi, I text everything. I didn't care about the NL matchup. I ticked it for everything else. So like I just insta lost the NL matchup and ran into it, but there wasn't enough NL for me to worry about it. Where now you can't ignore the blue purple matchup. So like you need to, if you're playing something, if you're at a regional, you have to assume half of your matchups are going to be blue purple. Or like,
if not more.
Yeah, if not more. So like you have to. There's no. Is
there no mitigative? There's nothing. It has no bad matchups.
No, Bella Betty's awful for it. Green Yellow Law is pretty good into it.
The problem with those is those have.
You said Green Yellow Law. Like I know that's
no. So again, the Green Yellow Law wins. Red or Betty wins.
Zorro in some situations,
but then like you're talking now about decks that like
don't perform well against the rest of the
rest of the format.
Yeah.
So like you're now in this blue purple bubble where. Now, as a, like for me, as if I'm playing Blue Yellow Nami or if I'm playing GP, I am now playing, hoping that I run into one of the blue purple counters instead of blue purple.
Yeah.
Now, granted, if you watched the Japan finals that we just had, Blue Yellow Nami holds its own against blue purple for a bit. It's just a matter of, again, when you play blue purple, there's a timer. There's a timer on the game, and if they see what they need to, it's over.
Interesting too is like it reminds me of when you say that, we talked about Newgate a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
there's a timer on that game with Moby Dick.
Yeah,
and that coming through. Yeah, that's a terrifying. Here's the other thing it reminds me of. We're going back to the fighting game analogies. There was when Street Fighter 4 came out, there was an edition they made called Arcade Edition, right? When they were bringing it back.
I know
you know where I'm going with this. And so Super Street Fighter 4, which was the game that was out at the time, super popular. It was like it was right when Twitch was becoming a fucking thing, right? Huge, like everybody was looking at it, and the developers of Street Fighter for some fucking reason were like, you know what? We don't like all this balance. It was arguably one of the most balanced games ever made, like where everybody had a shot, all the characters played well, it was fun. And then they decided to add Yoon and Yang, or two really fan favorite characters, to the game, and they were just tuned to be broken. Like they were deliberately broken characters. Like they were so much stronger than everything else in the cast. It was to the point where, like, why the fuck would you even touch any other character, right? And the entire meta shifted to where the game was just not fun to play anymore. They gave people these horrible, like they just completely ruined the design philosophy of multiple other characters.
A perfect example, even beyond that one, is the Tekken 7 example with Leroy.
Yeah.
Like, so again, Tekken 7, Brandon doesn't know, Tekken 7, right? It was the Evo Japan right before the pandemic. It was 2019. It was in January or February. I can't remember exactly the date. It was early 2019. We were hearing about this thing called COVID. We didn't know what it was. We were playing fighting games. We didn't care. And Tekken released Leroy. And Leroy broke every balance and every like frame thing in Tekken. And so to the point where at Evo Japan, I forget what the exact number was, but I think it was something ridiculous. Like 18 of the top 24 were playing Leroy.
Yeah.
Which is unreal. And so like when you start to have formats like that in any game, you have to look at it and go, what's the problem here? And I think we're going to start to see, we're seeing it already with blue purple. I think the problem with that in the East is the reason why stuff doesn't get solved in the East quick enough is because the thing I noticed when I was over there, a lot of Japanese players are like pretty loyal, and there's not a lot of Japanese players that immediately tier horde to like the top whatever it is, right? They're pretty loyal and they want to figure stuff out and they want to figure out problems, and like a lot of the player expression comes from like deck building and like all that kind of stuff. So
as opposed to here where we just net deck like hell.
You just go. Here the player expression is in the pilot. In the way you pilot the deck,
and it's any means necessary to win. Yeah.
In Japan, it's the deck building. So like, if a deck is solved, it's not fun to play, and so the Japanese audience goes to other stuff to like serve and figure out different issues and problems. Where here, it's no, we're gonna play the strongest thing and maximize how to play it. And so that's where you see like the huge swaths of players. And I think like as soon as blue purple comes out here, it's gonna be all over the place.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, well, final thoughts that are not demonetizational for this podcast. Look, OP11's coming out.
Tell Dean how right he was about Kuzan.
Oh yeah, 6-cost Kuzan in just a loop Burgess deck is so much fun.
Double hand, dude.
He's glazed.
It's so many blockers now. It's just playing Burgess, and then I have 4 blockers the entire game.
Yeah, I love that card. People were saying they were only going to play 2 on Twitter, and I was like,
yeah, I'm at 3, and I'm really debating 4. It's just you play it on 7 to 8 dawn, and then 9 dawn, and then sometimes on 10 dawn.
Okay, dude. Dude, we've officially sapped all monetization. Just penny by penny, dude.
All right, so final thoughts on Stardust. Are they all bad or are they mixed? How do we feel?
I think all of them are mid. I think various stages of mid. Some high tier mid, some low tier mid, but they're all
nothing on
mid.
the scale of Dofi and Ploofy from last.
Yeah,
no,
nothing even
mid.
Well, but those change those decks so fundamentally.
Those changed the game in a way. I mean, like even without Giant, like Ploofy was great. So
yeah. I mean,
I just think we had our expectations.
I feel like
so high.
without Giant, Ploofy was I don't know, man.
It was winning regionals.
It was winning regional, but it still died. Like it still was tougher to play. I think a lot harder.
Well, yeah, now it's unfair because it has Giant.
I'm interested to see with NA getting these first. Part of me says that the Western audience is just going to completely ignore these starter decks, and then it's going to go to the West. It's going to go to the East.
And they're
gonna figure something out. And
even though we got it first.
We're idiots.
I don't know, man. I think the Western audience does cope quite a bit as well, right? I've seen like quite a bit of cope, so I think there
Vala Pizarro.
Yeah, I think there can be some instances where we'll find some cool shit, but we'll have to see. I don't know, man. I'm happy because my fucking cope deck got some shit, so I'm happy. And then I'm playing tier 0 otherwise
because I fucking ordered 2 of each.
Give me a Robin starter deck, please. Give me a Robin starter deck.
Robin starter deck would be gas.
I mean, at that point, what if it ends up like the Shanks starter deck? It's a Robin starter deck, but it's like...
But it's really a Luffy starter deck.
He'll take it.
I'll take it. I've coped so hard for that deck long enough.
All right. Well, look, that's going to be it for our show. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. If you're with Homeland Security, please don't watch this podcast. Anything else? Any other things we want to like shout out that we're going to be doing or stuff like that? Oh, skill diff. Go to skilldiff.gg. Enter in the code.
Yeah, worst. Oh wait, I'm tweaking.
Yeah, enter the code. Wait, I'm tweaking.
I'm showing.
You're showing the wrong one.
Oh, dude.
What's the
go for lethal 5?
Can you add a code on skill diff?
What do you mean?
Can you add codes? Can you just add codes for discounts?
Yeah.
Enter in the code Wait I'm Tweaking for 10% off at skilldiff.gg.
Dude.
And we'll be back next week. We'll talk a little bit about OP12 hopefully and some
OP11.
OP11.
Well, also OP12 because OP12 is gonna be out.
Yeah, but we'll talk mainly about OP11 and sort of like because we have regionals coming up for our.
Oh, that's true. So we'll see where everything.
Vegas.
Yeah,
we'll see where we're at.
But anyway, my name is Bonney.
I'm Dean Khasanov.
I'm Zack Chamberlain.
Chris Okamura.
We'll see y'all soon.